One of Leonardo's, he fancied himself an engineer before he fancied himself an artist, and the evidence is in his drawings.
For over 500 years, one of Leonardo da Vinci's most curious sketches has baffled historians and engineers alike. What looks like a complex arrangement of gears might actually be far more than a mere invention. It could rewrite the history of computing. Imagine discovering that a Renaissance artist had secretly designed a mechanical calculator centuries before science believed such a device existed.
Da Vinci is one of a long line of artists who have told us, beginning with the ancient Egyptians and running through the early Christians and Tibetans.
Could this hidden blueprint change everything we thought we knew about innovation and technology? The truth uncovered by modern AI scanning is as astonishing as it is unsettling. The mysterious gear sketch. Among the countless pages of Leonardo da Vinci's notebooks, one sketch stands out as both enigmatic and perplexing. At first glance, it resembles a complicated jumble of wheels and gears, like the inner workings of a clock or mechanical toy. Yet, this particular design seems strangely intentional, hinting at a purpose far beyond a simple contraption. Despite being created over 500 years ago, the sketch does not quite fit with Leonardo's other known inventions, capturing the curiosity of historians and engineers alike. The device shows 13 interlocking wheels, each engraved with numbers from 0 to 9, arranged in a precise sequence. These numbers, combined with the gear teeth connecting each wheel to the next, suggest a mechanism capable of transferring motion in a way that implies calculation. What makes this especially fascinating is that no written explanation accompanies the drawing, only Leonardo's characteristic mirrored handwriting and cryptic annotations. This absence of clear notes adds a layer of secrecy and raises questions about the inventor's true intentions. Intriguingly, the design demonstrates a mechanical principle that would not officially appear in scientific history until more than a century later. The way each wheel seems to carry over its movement to the next one mirrors the basic function used by mechanical calculators to perform addition and subtraction. This has sparked speculation that Leonardo may have envisioned a device to automate arithmetic tasks. However, no physical model has ever been found, and it remains uncertain whether Leonardo ever built a prototype. Over the centuries, the sketch was largely ignored or overshadowed by Leonardo's more famous creations, flying machines, anatomical studies, and artworks. Only in recent decades did it regain attention as historians and engineers started reconsidering its significance. The mystery deepened. Was this drawing just a conceptual exercise in gear ratios, or could it be the blueprint for a machine that was truly ahead of its time? The implications tantalize those who study it because it challenges long-held assumptions about the timeline of technological progress. The notations of Leonardo only make the whole thing more interesting. His use of mirror writing was usually a conscious way to guard his thoughts, hiding ideas that could be deemed as rather provocative or even hazardous. Was this drawing one of such secret ideas, kept hidden on purpose so that no one would be able to misuse them? The meticulous accuracy of the gear system accompanied by the cryptic notes suggests a venture that is not just of passing interest. On the other hand, the absence of any reference to it in his other works makes the intention frustratingly inaccessible. Replicating Leonardo's designs in the 20th century, however, proved difficult due to the fact that the mechanical reproduction of the design was not easy at all. Different ways of making the gears led to different functions of the device, thus making it unclear whether the original idea of Leonardo had worked the way he wanted it to. Nevertheless, these reconstructions revealed the possible resultant capabilities of the machine had it been finished. A mechanical calculator that could add and subtract numbers automatically, a thing that was already centuries beyond the official historical record. As we delve deeper into Leonardo's world, it helps to remember his extraordinary talents went far beyond painting, which leads us to explore the brilliance that shaped his inventive mind. Da Vinci's genius beyond art. Leonardo da Vinci is often celebrated primarily as one of the greatest artists in history, but his talents extended well into the realm of science and engineering. His detailed anatomical drawings reveal a mind deeply committed to understanding the human body with remarkable accuracy, a feat that was revolutionary for the Renaissance. Beyond art, Leonardo was a scientist and engineer driven by curiosity, constantly experimenting with mechanics, flight, and hydraulics. His notebooks reveal a restless mind, always sketching and exploring concepts that blurred the line between imagination and practical invention. During Leonardo's lifetime in the late 15th and early 16th centuries, scientific study was not as specialized or widely accessible as it is now. Mathematics, engineering, and mechanics were fields mostly reserved for scholars, merchants, and a select few who could afford proper education. Leonardo, largely self-taught, sought to bridge these worlds by applying rigorous observation and hands-on experimentation to tackle challenges of his time. He fancied himself as much an engineer as an artist. His approach to problems was deeply methodical. He would spend years perfecting paintings and inventions, applying geometry and proportion to achieve precision. This patience extended to his sketches of machines, where accuracy in cog sizes, gear ratios, and mechanical linkages was essential. Unlike many of his contemporaries, Leonardo did not shy away from recording complex systems that required calculations and elaborate construction techniques, reflecting an advanced understanding of mechanics for his age. Remarkably, Leonardo's foresight allowed him to imagine technologies that would not become practical for centuries. His flying machines, for example, anticipated principles seen in modern aviation, albeit without the materials or engines to bring them fully to life. Similarly, his mechanical designs reveal a mind capable of envisioning automatons, hydraulics, and devices that blurred the boundary between art, science, and invention. Nevertheless, notwithstanding his abundant inventiveness, Leonardo concealed a lot of his work, writing in mirrored script and encoding thoughts to guard them, or perhaps out of fear of misunderstanding. This secrecy is the reason that the interpretation of his notebooks can be so complex, and some sketches can be seen as unfinished or even intentionally obscured. Scholars are of the opinion that he might have kept some inventions under the wraps if he felt they were likely to cause disturbances or be the cause of great danger. This mannerism has caused researchers in modern times to piece together hints first in order to understand what was really meant under the surface. The genius of Leonardo was in perfect harmony with the Renaissance spirit, which was a period full of new ideas and rediscoveries. However, his curiosity was not only limited to the domains of art and mechanics, but also practical problems of society, trade, engineering, and measuring. It is in this context that some of his most enigmatic drawings, such as the gear-driven device, were born. They are a sign of a strong will to boost human power through the application of technology. This vision challenges the accepted history of mechanical calculation, a story shaped largely by inventions centuries younger than Leonardo's sketch. Mechanical calculation before its time. The concept of mechanically performing arithmetic was thought to be a product of the 17th century. Historians usually credit Wilhelm Schickard with the first mechanical calculator around 1623, followed by Blaise Pascal's Pascaline in 1642. Later, Gottfried Wilhelm Leibniz made advancements with the stepped reckoner in the late 1600s. These devices are often seen as the foundation of mechanical computing, long after Leonardo's lifetime. Yet Leonardo's sketch, dated around 1493, challenges this timeline with its detailed design of interconnected numbered wheels and gears capable of carrying over values, an essential function for addition and subtraction. This feature underpins the operation of mechanical calculators much later in history. The idea that such a machine was envisioned more than a century earlier forces us to question the dominant narrative of invention being a linear progression. In Leonardo's time, mathematical calculation was a painstaking manual process carried out by merchants, engineers, and clerks. Errors were common, and no mechanical devices existed to automate these tasks. Bookkeepers relied on abacuses, counting rods, or handcrafted tallies, each prone to mistakes and slow to operate. The drive for automating calculation was simply not a societal priority during the late 15th century. Leonardo's design, therefore, appears extraordinarily prescient. The 13 numbered wheels shown in his drawing allude to a machine that could rotate these wheels in sequence, carrying values from one wheel to another the next. Exactly how addition and subtraction operate mechanically. His codified notes and delicate gear proportions reflect a purpose that aligns with arithmetic functions, not mere mechanical experiments. Even though the design was very clear, Leonardo never created a working model, and none has been discovered so far. The absence of this model had such an important impact that it sparked debates for centuries. While some scholars took it as a simple technical study, others insisted on it being a concept that changed the course of history, but was at the same time lost to history. The scattered and secretive nature of Leonardo's notebooks made it even harder to fit this invention into the traditional timeline. The sketch remained invisible to the world for a couple of centuries, until the researchers of the 20th century began to look at Leonardo's manuscripts with new perspectives. During the 1960s, scholars in Italy made a physical replica based on the sketch, and astonishingly, it functioned. The gears interlocked properly, and the device performed basic arithmetic functions, thus demonstrating that Leonardo's idea was mechanically reliable, even if it had not been practically tested during his lifetime. This finding opened a lot of questions that were hard and deep to answer. If Leonardo thought of such a machine, then why were the mechanical calculators not seen until centuries later? Was this invention suppressed? Was it just a case of overlooking it, or plain forgetting it? The narrative creates an atmosphere of tension between the proclaimed technological history and the reality of innovations, making the questioning of the ways in which ideas come up and spread reconsidered. This unfolding revelation sets the stage for how modern technology, including artificial intelligence, is unlocking secrets no previous generation could see. AI unlocks hidden details. For centuries, Leonardo's sketch remained shrouded in mystery, partly because his handwritten notes are notoriously difficult to read. His mirrored script, crossed-out lines, and layered sketches create a visual maze that challenged even the most dedicated scholars. Traditional photography and manual examination could only reveal so much before the details became obscured by age and deterioration. It wasn't until recently that advancements in scanning technology and artificial intelligence brought new light to this centuries-old puzzle. Researchers applied high-resolution imaging to the fragile pages, capturing every faded stroke and subtle indentation without risking damage to the delicate parchment. These images served as the foundation for AI algorithms trained to enhance faint ink traces, digitally separate overlapping lines, and reconstruct erased or overwritten parts of the drawing. This digital sleight of hand allowed the machine to peer beneath centuries of wear and intentional concealment, recovering information that was invisible to the human eye. What emerged from the AI's work was startling. Where previous reproductions might have appeared as a vague tangle of wheels, the new reconstruction revealed a highly organized system of 13 numbered wheels, each precisely interlocked to transmit motion according to specific gear ratios. This arrangement matched the carryover function essential for adding and subtracting numbers in mechanical calculators. The clarity of the gear sizes and tooth counts suggested a design both deliberate and functional, not merely speculative or decorative. Even more striking were the shorthand annotations that the AI highlighted, symbols and notes that had previously gone unnoticed or been dismissed as scribbles. These markings hinted at counting mechanisms and mathematical intentions, supporting the theory that Leonardo's drawing was a blueprint, not just a diagram. This level of detail provides stronger evidence that his invention was more than mechanical experimentation. It was a carefully planned device meant for automated calculation. Nonetheless, the imaging techniques revealed a more sinister side to the story. Certain portions of the painting were purposefully hidden, either with lines interspersed or overwritten by the artist's own hand. Such an act no doubt indicated that Leonardo was very careful in disclosing the entire plan, possibly because he had doubts about the acceptance of such a machine in his era. Under the prevailing socio-political conditions, the automation of calculation might have been viewed as a threat by the support base of the traditional methods and human clerical labor. The speculation was that Leonardo had hidden parts of his design intentionally to avoid misuse or pre-exposure. The artist's well-known habits of secrecy and mirrored writing support the idea that he realized the revolutionary, if not disruptive, power of his invention. The hidden intricacies not only contribute to the plot, but also raise the question: was this a prudent move based on foresight or fear? In any case, it left the drawing half done and lying idle for centuries. Not only did the AI-based reconstruction sharpen the mechanical design, but also it reduced the doubt of its feasibility to nearly zero. The gear relationships and the operational principles are now confirmed as mechanically correct. What was once a confusing drawing now appears like a complete blueprint for a calculating machine that could operate long before historians had thought such technology was possible. The emergence of this hidden knowledge forces us to confront the implications it holds for accepted history and the complex story behind the invention's silence. Implications of the discovery. If Leonardo da Vinci really sketched a functional mechanical calculator a century before anyone else, the history of technology needs revision. For centuries, credit has gone to 17th century inventors like Wilhelm Schickard, Blaise Pascal, and Gottfried Wilhelm Leibniz, whose machines started the era of mechanical computation. But this new evidence suggests that the roots of this innovation extend into the Renaissance, challenging established narratives. Such a revelation unsettles the traditional timeline taught in universities and embraced by historians. It raises uncomfortable questions about how knowledge can be lost or ignored over time. If Leonardo conceived this device, why did mechanical calculators not emerge until long after his death? The gap highlights how societal readiness, access, and dissemination play crucial roles in whether an invention transforms the world. The discovery also shines a light on Leonardo's character, his genius tempered by caution. The deliberate obscuring of parts of the sketch hints that he recognized the disruptive power of automated calculation. By reducing reliance on human clerks, this invention could have upended economic, scientific, and political structures. Leonardo's secrecy might have been a protective shelter, both to shield his ideas from theft and to prevent premature upheaval. In today's engineering world, the revelation is regarded as both surprising and motivating. The designers and the programmers regard the drawing as a conceptual ancestor of the digital computation, pointing to the fact that the basic principles of automation were envisioned centuries before they were formally discovered. For them, it rings a bell that innovation frequently comes from the most unexpected times and people. The public response to the discovery has been a combination of wonder and fear at the same time. Numerous persons are questioning whether the first computer was actually hidden for 5 centuries, which results in conversations about whether science had been moving faster than the world was ready for, or if there had been missed opportunities. A few people suggest that if Leonardo's designs had been accepted back then the scientific revolution in Europe would have been much faster. On the other hand, some claim that the society just wasn't ready for such radical transformations, and, therefore, the invention was put to sleep until the world was ready for it. As this ancient design emerges from obscurity, it underscores an enduring truth. The past can conceal breakthroughs that forever alter how we view progress. The legacy and future questions. Leonardo da Vinci's hidden invention challenges us to rethink the story of human ingenuity and the timeline of technological progress. If he truly envisioned a mechanical calculator centuries before its time, it shows that innovation is rarely linear. Groundbreaking ideas can lie dormant, concealed by circumstance or caution, until the world is ready to understand them. The tension between Leonardo's brilliance and restraint is striking. His decision to obscure parts of his design suggests he grasped the potential disruption it could cause. Unlike modern inventors eager for recognition, Leonardo seemed aware that knowledge could be both transformative and dangerous, a gift to be handled with care. The contemporary methods of deciphering and analyzing his sketches have paved the way for the reinterpretation of the past through technology. Technology is, once more, the connector between the past and the present, reviving ancient manuscripts as active sources of insights. Still, the doubt lingers on. There being no working model or detailed notes, the academics have to guess only about the exact role of the calculator, thus maintaining the interest and discussion eternally. This rediscovery is significant not only for academics, but for the whole world. Leonardo's design is thus a symbol for engineers, artists, and technologists that imagination can be so powerful to go beyond ages and fields. It also draws a line between art and science, which is very much reminding us that the world of innovation usually starts with the dream and finally gets expressed as a material product. In the end, Leonardo's sketch challenges us to investigate further the open areas of human creativity. If such a genius could be left off the records for centuries, what other hidden wonders would still be in the waiting? His legacy is a mystery that inspires, and this is how the world will always see it, an unchallengeable proof of human curiosity that knows no boundaries. This journey from centuries-old sketches to AI-powered discovery shows how Leonardo da Vinci's forgotten invention still inspires awe and debate today. It reminds us that groundbreaking ideas can be hidden in plain sight, waiting for the right moment to change our perspective on history and innovation. If you found this story as fascinating as we did, be sure to like this video and subscribe for more deep dives into the secrets that shape our world.